Hey, watch fans, we're here at the Wynn Las Vegas. Special report on the Anthony Farrer investigation. My friends, I have news for you. Oh, here's a place for badass sushi. No, actually, it's just badass Italian. Okay, now guys, if some of you are victims of the $5 million Anthony Farrer fraud, I got news for you. Your money was well spent. My sources here tell me that Anthony enjoyed the gambling, the lifestyle, the badass hoodies, and everything. Now, we got the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak owl on the wrist here. Very appropriate for the Anthony Farrer story. Now, the question is Anthony Farrer a genius or a fraud? My opinion, and this is my real honest opinion, is I believe Anthony is a misunderstood genius. He's sort of like the, oh, here's some shitters, the mega shitters. Don't buy this garbage. Waste of money. Breitling. Oof. Balmain. Where's our man Tweety Bird with the butthole eyes? This is his favorite brand, we know. Okay, so I believe Anthony was actually a misunderstood genius, sort of on the level of a Picasso. Picasso took a lot of heat. Well, actually, no, I'll use a different name. Bernard Buffet. Some of you young folks don't know him, but Bernard Buffet was actually considered bigger than Picasso in the late 50s, early 60s, and he actually a very brilliant artist. Became very, very hot into the 60s, and his downfall was because he was in France, and the French hate. French are haters. They're notorious haters. They hate people making money. And Bernard Buffet posed for a magazine article in front of a Rolls Royce in front of his mansion. I think it was in the south of France. The French intelligentsia had a field day, and that was it for the guy's career. But Bernard Buffet, the value of his paintings collapsed. In the 90s. Today he's actually making a big comeback. I actually believe Bernard Buffet is a great investment. Now we're going to be approaching the roulette table where Anthony spent most of your $5 million in just a second. Here's a Wank O'Brien Home Arts. Probably Anthony dropped some money here. Oh, of course we've got the McLaren dealership. How could we do an Anthony story and not have a McLaren, a badass hoodie, or a car featured? We got punters lining up here. Now, going back to I got sidetracked. So I believe Anthony was actually a misunderstood genius. Now, let me be very candid with you. What do I see as the genius? Oh, here we are, the infamous Anthony Farrer roulette table. $4 million dropped over here, according to my sources, my expert sources. Now, I believe Anthony is actually a misunderstood genius because, look, what I appreciate about the guy, and I do think he's had some really incredible qualities, is he's got this, look, most adults, they give up on their dreams. They give up on their dreams. They live lives of, what's the word? What's the lives of desperation, silent desperation, quiet desperation? Remember when you were a child, everything was wide open. You had all sorts of possibilities. You wanted to be an astronaut, a porn star, whatever. Everybody has different dreams, right? And most adults, they give up on their dreams. You wanted to be a billionaire. Now, Anthony did not give up on his dreams, okay? He's very aspirational, okay? Everything was big, bigger than life. Because think about it. Like for example, why do most people, or blue collar people, why do most blue collar people or poor people love Donald Trump, or they did, before he got into politics, and everybody, all of a sudden now he's an asshole, right? But look, before this, everybody loved Trump. Why? Because, the average billionaire or even millionaire, they're not flashy. They don't really spend money. But, if you're a blue-collar guy and you're thinking, okay, if I'm going to make $1 million, I'm going to, have the hot wife. I'm going to have, a 20,000 square foot apartment. I'll have, also, the crazy lifestyle, right? The giant stretch 80s style limo. Yeah, all the crazy stuff, right? I mean, helicopters, 757 plane. I don't know what does he have, a 757? I don't know what Trump has, but anyway, so people love that about him because he wasn't cheap. He really knows how to spend money. Trump, and also Anthony. Anthony really was great at spending money, flashing it around. People love seeing that on YouTube, right? Look, most people on the internet living lives of, quiet desperation. They're desperate to see something exciting, and I think Anthony brought a lot of pleasure to people. And he's a big thinker, right? Like, there's haters out there. Haters, Haders. Guys like this Bruce Lee of Texas. Mr. Miyagi, Loose. This guy criticizes, and a bunch of other people criticize him. You have these CoffeeZilla type people. This guy CoffeeZilla, who's on the internet. These guys make their whole living. Think how disgusting these people are. They make a living off criticizing people who are successful. They're jealous. They're haters. Loose. I mean, look, the guy's basically a loser. Looser. He's a loser, right? And, when he sees a guy like Anthony, he doesn't understand it. He doesn't understand the genius, the marketing genius. Now, let me give you my analysis. I believe Anthony, the spending. Okay, let's talk about, the Ferraris, the badass hoodies, all the crazy stuff, right? Actually, I do believe a lot of that was great. It really helped his brand. And look, let's face it, his brand. Okay, he's selling asshole watches to assholes. Richard Milles, Audemars Piguet. Well, not like mine, because this is what the classy people wear. But the nouveau riche, the Bitcoin bros, all the guys who made money off PPP loans the last few years, the guys who want to drive Lambos, the G-Wagons, painted, I don't know, matte black or something like that, right? So those assholes, they want, Anthony was basically representative of what, these types of people want, right? So I think he was very on brand, and in my opinion, we've got some hotties here. In my opinion, that was actually, good marketing, right? And also at the same time, here's the genius. He's enjoying his life. He's enjoying his life, right? I mean, how well you can have your cake and eat it too, right? You're buying that Lambo, whatever it is. You're eating the badass sushi, and that's you're living a great life, and also it's great content, right? It really, look, that is 100% true. Now people say, oh, he's spending too much. No, I actually believe that stuff was smart marketing. Now, I do believe where he made some big mistakes. And again, all that stuff, highly effective, very smart. Now, very few people have the balls, okay? Let me say it again. Very few people have the balls to do that kind of spending to get to that goal. Some of it's smart? I don't know. Look, Frank F.W. Woolworth, leading, some of you kids don't know Woolworth, but ask your grandparents. But, that was like the Walmart of his day, even bigger than Walmart, like Target, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, he was a pioneer in advertising, and he said, half my advertising is wasted. Half the money I spend on ads is wasted. So they asked him, well, why don't you cut that out? Well, he says, I just don't know which half it is. See, here's the thing with advertising and marketing. Half the money or more is actually wasted. We just don't know which half. If anybody did, and nobody knows, okay? Anybody tells you they know, they don't. Okay, they really don't. So look, the Lambos, the $15,000 steak dinner. Now, by the way, was that a waste of money? I'm talking about it. Okay. Other people are talking about it, right? Oh, here we go. Watches of Switzerland. JLC. Ugh. Actually, no, I should say. I'm kidding. JLC, great brand, my favorite actually. Okay, here comes some shitters. Here comes the Beauvais, garbage. Grand Seiko, garbage. Panerai, worse than garbage. Jacob, garbage. Hublot, you blow. You blow. Okay, you get it? 53.96 clock. I had one of those. Actually, the watch, not the clock. Anyway, oh, here we go. Here's the Rolei. The Rolei. The Rolei. The Rolei. Now, look, so the reality is, you know, spending 14 grand on a steak dinner with some jerk off from Turkey, some guy is probably jerking off on the steaks. I think actually that was smart because look, I'm talking about it, you're talking about it. What kind of moron does? Look, most people, they don't have the balls to spend money to build a brand. Okay, these guys, Bulgari, look at this guy, Philippe Klein, another wanker brand. But look, these people are spending massive money. You got to spend money to make money, my friends. Okay, and Anthony did it. I'm going to tell you a story a little bit later about a famous pimp who actually, you know, very similar to Anthony. Well, let me first finish off. Again, most of the haters out there, they just don't understand that this marketing, you got to spend money to make money. Okay. Anthony had the balls to spend it. You know, most people, they, you know, so he's got like a very childlike mind. I think Anthony had a very, like, you know, childlike mind, which I think is a positive. Okay, like Picasso also, a childlike imagination of mind. Like, you know, hey, I could be anything, right? And look, the reality is the guy, I think he was generating probably, surely he was doing, I don't know, a couple million a month in sales. Okay, that's pretty good for a guy who knows nothing about watches. That's pretty good. Now, I think the mistake was there was some stupid spending. Okay, the steak dinner, 14 grand, was not stupid in my opinion. The Lambos, not stupid. What is stupid is he hired some very bad people who really were stupid, like you know, those grifters, those hangers-on, those leeches. That Liz Darby, whatever those scum people are, he had a bunch of hangers-on. It's sort of like a rapper, you know. They make a little bit of money, and all of a sudden, you know, they have, you know, they get on the entourage. So Anthony needed that entourage. He needed his crew. He needed that entourage, and those people bled him dry. It's like MC Hammer. Anybody remember Hammer? MC Hammer from the 90s? He was bled dry by all the hangers-on. The Penthouse, what was it, 100 grand? Some crazy number, 100, 200. That was ridiculous. Well, the worst part is because nobody with money lives in downtown LA. Okay, it's a shithole. Downtown LA is an absolute shithole. I mean, nobody wants to go there. I mean, I don't know what the guy was thinking. I mean, the people with money, the smart people, would have been living in Century City. Okay, they would have been living at what is that, 11100, whatever it is, the 11100 North Shore, is it? No. You know, Century City, there's a couple of really nice high-rises where for, you know, 50 grand a month, if you want to spend up that money, you have something nice and you're going to be surrounded by, you know, classy people who have money. Okay, so Anthony was surrounded, I don't know, who the fuck wants to live in downtown LA? So that, he made a couple of mistakes. I think he was probably losing a couple $100 grand a month on just stupid shit, like, you know, the Liz and Darby's, the leeches, the you know, some crazy things. But the rest, I think, was actually smart spending. Now let's talk about the consignment scam. Look, I think if you were stupid enough to consign your watches, to do business with a guy, you know, you deserve to lose your money, in my opinion. Now look, you know, I've dealt with a lot of con artists in my life. So when I first saw the guy, I knew something was off, right? And, you know, you've seen my videos, I talked about that, the beady eyes. He had that, like, kind of, you know, gay beady eye look. Now, look, I like flamboyant homosexuals, but it bothers me when somebody who's, you know, you don't know what they are. Like, I can't put them in a category, right? If they're like, you know, I don't know if they're straight, are they gay? You know, I don't know what they are. So Anthony, obviously, we know he's, you know, he's doing hand jobs or more for gentlemen callers. And look, I actually respect that. The guy's, the guy's hustling, right? He's doing what it takes to, achieve his goals. Most of you guys watching this are too lazy. You're a bunch of lazy mooch bums. Not Anthony, not my man Anthony. Now, so the thing with the beady eyes, it kind of reminds me of this guy Pete Buttigieg, the guy who works for Biden. He also has that weird look. And what bothers me is that Buttigieg is, for a homo, he has horrible taste. I mean, look at the way this guy dresses. He dresses like some straight guy from, like some suburban dad from Milwaukee or something like that. I mean, the guy dresses like shit. He's got he's getting test tube babies made. And listen, I'm not here to judge people, whatever. This is not what you think. I'm not here to, do a gay bash. That's not what this is. Hey, I love gay people. What I don't like is I don't like when somebody is kind of, they have like something which is kind of calm. So, if a guy is gay, I want to be the flamboyant. I don't like when they're kind of, I can't tell what they are, right? So when you have the beady eyes and you got the waxed arms, waxing the hair off the arms, it's a weird look, right? Anyway, look, that's just, it's one of those little tells. It's not the main thing. There was a couple of weird things with this guy. So, I could pretty much tell right away this guy was no good. But if you sent him money, if you can sign watches with him, especially to a guy who's flashing that much, crazy spending, I don't know. You gotta think twice. Here's the Baca. I think Anthony dropped some money here. Here we got another couple of roulette tables. They're empty. These guys made so much money from Anthony. They made so much money from Anthony that they're closed for the day. They're done. Now, it's funny. After the fact, all of a sudden, all these guys and Anthony, he made them a lot of money. You're talking about the Tweety bird with butthole eyes. You're talking about prune face. You got, Mr. Miyagi. You got, the monkey face with a flat top in Venice. I'm talking about the man with the monkey face, the Irish man with the monkey face, the drunken leprechaun with the monkey face. We're not going to mention any names. But look, a lot of people made money with Anthony, but now that he gets in trouble, they're all abandoning him like rats. They're like rats fleeing. I think it's actually disgusting. I think it's disgusting that these people are not sticking by Anthony, who made them all money. Now, what's interesting? Where's my thing? Oh yeah, by the way, guys, you should definitely click the like and subscribe button if you haven't yet. Now, how did I know Anthony, was a fugazi? Well, I've been around for a while. I told you, I've met people from all walks of life. I mean all walks of life. And some years back, I met a gentleman. I was running an ad for a salesperson. I had some sales guys working for me making a lot of money. And this guy answered my ad. This was back on Craigslist, when Craigslist was still a good place. We're talking about almost 20 years back. Anyway, so I interviewed this guy, and it turns out he actually was I knew who he worked for. He was an amazing salesman. The guy was like slightly retarded kind of criminal. He was kind of a weird guy. Somehow or other, people, I don't know, he just could pick people's pockets over the phone like you wouldn't believe. This guy was bringing in millions in sales a month for an internet company that I knew of, confirmed. And this guy literally built this company. I'll tell you what the company is. It was called Legal Match. They sold leads for lawyers, if any of you guys know. So this guy he was their number one salesman. He basically put Legal Match on the map. And I made this guy an offer. He turned down my offer. And somehow or other, all of a sudden, next thing you know, he tells me he wants to open up an escort service. And sure enough, he opens the escort service. Escort service. This was in New York. And this guy was spending money on crazy, like just crazy shit, kind of like an Anthony. I remember I went out to dinner with this guy. Oh, this is exactly like Anthony, right? He says, "Oh, let's go to Mr. Chow." Now, I don't know, but actually, that was my first time going to Mr. Chow. I never really heard anything good about it. So he says, "Hey, let's go to Mr. Chow," right? So we have dinner. Him and his girlfriend. I mean, I was shocked that this girl was with this guy. I mean, she was like, girl from a good family. This guy was like, basically a scumbag who actually went to prison earlier for smuggling ecstasy pills into the U.S., trying to smuggle 8,000 ecstasy pills. Anyway, so we're at Mr. Chow, and the bill was like, I don't know, $300, $400. I don't know, this is like 20 years ago. So you can just imagine. The food was like very mediocre. But this guy, basically, every night he was out at, restaurants, and again, basically places where you go to, not for the food, you go in there to see and be seen, right? Because look, this guy was marketing. He was looking to make connections. That's his whole thing. And he was spending money on crazy shit, like stupid watches, this probably sort of like an Anthony type of guy. Anyway, his escort service became very, very successful. It was a big scandal that brought down the governor of New York, who actually was one of this guy's clients. And this guy, what happened to him? I think he went back to jail for a little while. I think he's out. He's been out. But this guy, before this, another business. So this guy actually, he came from like a well-to-do, a wealthy family. He went to law school. He had all the privileges. But instead of practicing law, he moved to Miami and opened a phone sex business. Now, phone sex actually was a great business in the early 90s. I don't know if any of you guys know the phone sex business, but I never understood it. But basically, guys call up on the phone, and you have somebody who pretends to be a girl, and they say, "Hey, I'm playing with myself or whatever. What are you doing?" Meanwhile, it's $2 a minute, $5 a minute, whatever it is. And this guy was making millions. He was spending millions. Money going all sorts of crazy places, drugs, everything. And there was no money left at the end. And I think so what did he go to jail for? No, I think the mob force. Something happened. And then he ended up working as a salesman at this other company. But this guy, why am I telling you the story? This guy was exactly like Anthony, spending crazy money on all sorts of stuff for, basically marketing, right? Getting into places, whatever, and it actually did work. Actually, I don't think this guy needed to do it like Anthony, but that's what it is, right? But it's like once you see one of these con artists, you see them all, right? So. Again, do I feel bad for the people who lost money with him, like this guy Wesley, the guy with the trucker hat, and the cow kicker, and the cow fucker or whatever? No, listen, they should have known. Okay, they really should have. You got to do your due diligence, as they say. There we go. Here's one of Anthony's clients. There we go. Now, see guys, now do you understand why Anthony spent so much time here? I mean, look, the guy is a marketing genius, in my opinion. Now, what do I think is going to happen in the future? I think Anthony's going to make a comeback. I think after he comes out of prison, he'll probably get a book deal, maybe a movie deal, kind of like Jordan Belfort. I think I actually hope he'll do well, because again, I think he brought a lot of pleasure to people. Sure, some people lost money, but you know what? Listen, look, if they lost money, they could afford it, right? Now, I know it's an excuse, but look, I know guys who, in a different business, in the art business, who skipped out on not 5 million, but 25 million, right? Same scam, the consignment game, which is great, right? You take something in on consignment, you sell it, and then you keep the money. Why should you? It's not about paying the consigners. It's about putting the money in your pocket. Don't you get it? There's actually been a couple of guys like that. One guy skipped town and went to France. And another guy, I think, just in recent years got bought. I think it was like a $10 million fraud. But yeah, again, it's all the same shit. The consignment game. The problem is this, right? When they first start out, it's legit, right? But it becomes very tempting. Look, if you're weak, it becomes very tempting because you have all of a sudden, a couple $1,000,000 in your account, right? You get a couple $1,000,000 in your account, which is free money basically. And now you're thinking, should I pay my consigners in 30 days like I was supposed to, or should I try to roll the dice into some other deal and parlay that? So now, it's free capital. It's free capital. And what happens is, everything is working until all of a sudden it stops, right? Let's say, for example, the guy with the 25 million scam, he was taking in paintings on consignment and selling it, and then he was putting the money into options trading. That's right. He was betting millions of dollars on options trading, and he was obviously losing the money. He was losing millions. And how do you cover that hole? We're talking about $20 million hole. How do you cover? Speaking of holes. How do you cover a $20 million hole? Well, you gotta not pay your consigners. That's what they're there for. They're there for to be fleeced, to be milked. So that's the way it happens. And especially when you have the market, market goes bad, and all of a sudden now things get more difficult, right? So you start digging yourself, into a hole, and the problem is it's hard to get out of that hole, once you're in that hole. And that is, my friend, what happened to my man Anthony, and that is how he got booted out. He got booted out of the Wynn, and he got booted out of the Wynn just like the monkey eyebrows, the leprechaun monkey eyebrows got booted out from a couple of apartments in New York where he didn't pay his rent. Did you know that? Unbelievable but true. Unbelievable. Thank you. Unbelievable but true. Monkey eyebrows owes landlords in New York millions of dollars. Well, not millions, thousands in unpaid rent. Unbelievable but true. Anyway, guys, look, make sure you click the like, subscribe button, and wish you all a great new year. This is the #1 channel you're on. I think this is the only watch channel on the internet that is worth watching. Everything else is, pure drivel, garbage, a bunch of boiler room hucksters and Muppets and Puerto Rican hubcap thieves, monkey eyebrow people. And let's leave off on the Audemars Piguet owl baby.